All right, we can get started. We're going to start. Grand Chief. We're going to share it.
Okay, please rise for opening prayer for our Grand Chief, Norman Silaboy.
Wali na agwe. Duyo. Nea azume. Kisu wala liye. Wala na agwe inamuya. Wala liya se muldes karut ne mamsalo tine. Edewe wala sindawe do skot me antela da diya. Klaman me still telam sida zuti da guging sina muksi gigma guchen. Gigma na iga. Gigma amsida. Kisigu tandel gana muksi. Edewe so like and dandela da di got delugudi. A holy upon winning him sit chida gigmana tame sinuan edek tela sitami. Edaway so glam gigmana kinijana kisigu udan minal. A down igana lucy. A kedulu igana muay de gamudi je all glam midway lugan wo yida you medway. Ma simto wanda seed tandelin to igana one. Tell me last six na sinuan egede. Katisku wala ali waktes kadukti. Volgala menengisku amenago ishkuwa. Iskuwa. After deloti megalam gigmana. Wala ali.
Award lam. Donald Marshall now. Welcome. Julida. Would like motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. Okay, Ladia Jusamo for the opening prayer. Ladia. So before we start, we need I have an agenda here. I want to review the agenda quickly. Lunch. That was a good lunch. Opening prayer. That was a good opening prayer. So we have the minutes, opening remarks. We have presentation of awards, presentation of MK annual report, and there'll be open for community updates, questions, and discussions. So I need a mover, a seconder from the chiefs or proxies. Okay, Chief Andrea moves, seconded by Chief Debbie. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Any abstentions? Any opposition? Motion carried. Okay, thank you. Now we have the minutes, but before we review the minutes, we're going to have a special moment of silence. And we have, for the number of people that were part of our family here, our educators, Mi'kmaq education family, who played a large role in today's education. So I want to ask we rise, and we do have a moment of silence for Joanne Illig, Phyllis, Josephine Peck, who just recently passed away, Dolly Prosper, and Laura Marshall. And anybody else I forgot, and just have them, or just call their name up for all our educators who played a large role, shaped our education in Mi'kma'ki. So I have a moment of silence. Okay, Walalio. Thank you. And rest in peace to them. And let's ask them to continue as they are part of our ancestors. Let's ask them to continue to guide us as we continue with our improving our education here in Kina'matnewey. So, Dr. Agenda. Okay, we're going to review the minutes. I think minutes are on the screen behind me. Or do we have any packages? No? Okay, we're just going to look at the minutes and then we'll have the chiefs to approve the minutes. Put on some elevator music, Blair. No. Okay. Big attendance last year. Okay, I need a mover, seconder to move the minutes. Okay, Chief Debbie. Seconder, please. Chief Wilbert. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Any abstentions? Any opposition? Motion carried. Okay, our minutes are approved for this season. Gwinige. Okay, I just wanna welcome you all. Udluj Julida, Julida Jibuktu, to our Migma Kina'matnewey, our General Assembly. And we have some special guests here today as well. I just want to welcome you, Udluj Julida. And just on behalf of the Board of Directors, I'm Chief Leroy, by the way. I'm chairman for MK for the past, I don't know how long, but I've been, I think, with 13, 14 years now. So I've been chairing, and it's been an honor for me leading on behalf of the chiefs here for education here in Nova Scotia, working with an awesome team of chiefs, administration, our director, and all the communities here. It's been an honor for me to work with all of you, and continuing improving and continuing moving forward with our education. And I've seen so many things happen in past 13 years as your chair. A lot of amazing things been happening. I'm so proud of you all, for all our staff, all our educators, and all our education in our communities. A lot of amazing things are happening. A lot of new schools and just a lot of great things, and more people are getting into not just trades, but like in medicine, in all various types of education that our communities really need to continue to grow within our communities. A lot of amazing things, and I'm just so honored to be part of that, and working in unity and in synergy together, and to make our ultimate goal is children. Our number one priority is the kids, children. And it's really important, and we're very fortunate. Our kids are very well taken care of from all of you guys, because I was watching the news past week, the wars that are happening in Middle East, and the kids are being killed, and we're just very fortunate here, and we need to really embrace that. How our leaders and our community leaders and our educators go all out to take care of our kids, and how much amazing education they have, and they're continue improving and getting. And I was just startled with the news that is happening. Let's think of them. Let's pray for them, especially the children. 내보지고 올레지 kids and 부곡그 내보지 and just I'm just shocked at how all the hate happening in our world. And let's continue help our children to be strong, to be to be proud of their language, their culture, and faith, and let's and we're just very fortunate. Absolutely, it's some quality and you look over across the world, all the wars that are happening, and I just had wanted to mention that. Thank you all, every single one of you here, for contributing to the children, to the students, and to your community. So from all of us here, we always strive to become better, and we continue doing that. So I just want to mention that, and I just want to officially welcome you to our annual General Assembly here in MK. Uladio. And now we're going to give this to Blair. Say a few words.
Lalio. We would first like to start off our AGA in a very special fashion. We normally give out these awards at Treaty Day, and this year we decided to give them away at our AGA, presenting in front of all the educators in our board the award winners for the Sister Dorothy Moore Education Scholarship. And we invite Deputy Minister Justin Houston to come up and help us present the award, as well as Grand Chief and our chair. Our first award winner, and we'll stand in front of the projector, and your families are welcome to come take your photo. And these are the winners for this year. There are 5 in total. We have 4 present with us today. The first one is Megan Gillis from Eskasoni. It's a copy of, can I just double check that that's yours? Oh, yeah. Very nice. Well done, Megan. Our second award winner, Kendra Gould from Eskasoni. Well done. Our third winner is Scott Peters of Wegoma. Double check that that's for Scott. Just for clarification. And our fourth award goes to Marianne Paul of Eskasoni. Well, look on Molly. Little loud. Okay. And we're not done yet. We also want to recognize the fifth recipient who was unable to make it today, and her name is Amanda Landry from Sebeganegadig. Up next, we have the Grand Chief Donald Marshall Senior Scholarship. This is presented, there are 4 awards to present. 1 recipient is with us today, and the 3 we'll announce later. The first recipient is Ben Marshall of Escazoni. The other recipients who were unable to attend today's ceremony is Dyson Marshall of Bodlodek, Aaron Denny of Escazoni, and James Blair of Acadia. They'll be delivered. All right. Moving on to the presentation of our annual report, we would like to invite our presenters. Oh, yes. All right. Before we get on to the presentations, I'll open it up. My presentation will be first, and it's just a reflection and a look back at our previous year, and resuming back to normal activities after, of course, the pandemic. Still not out of it, but the activities have seemed to resume. We pushed last year's symposium to May, if you all remember, just due to all of the restrictions and, of course, all of the various outbreaks. We were able to host camps again. We were able to go back to regular planning, visiting the schools, and being invited into the schools. It's hot. It's ready? All right. Here we go. I hear audio. Not working. Wala liyo. Very excitingly and sort of really emerged a lot of those feelings in April of 2022 in the height of one of the outbreaks. I think it was outbreak number 6 or 7. The legislation for the Mi'kmaq Language Act unanimously passed in the House. So that was April of just last year. So crazy how time flies. Of course, I'd like to welcome any new MK staff. If this is your first AGA, please take a moment to stand up and we can recognize you. If it's your first AGA, yes. We have Melissa, who is our adult ed. We have Aiden working with the help desk. We have Basil working in treaty education. And Doreen. I think this is your first AGA too. Oh, is your second? Mesk. All right, and so in the order I'm going to read, this is how Julian has organized the presentations here today. First we'll have Loretta, Director of Finance and Planning, Michelle, Director of Language and Culture and Sports, Janine, Director of Student Academic Services, and Alan, Director of AFNTS. I'll get the name someday. And of course, our door prizes are, the first winners will receive a table of gift cards. Pick one. I think there's 10. The second tier will be the JBL. It's a, oh, and there's blankets somewhere. And then the main prize will be, we have a wheel of names. So we've been recording as you guys come in. And the main prize is not here today, but it'll be IOU, wink wink. It's an iPhone, the newest iPhone. You have to be here to win, and you have to be in this room to win, so don't leave. All right, so I'm going to invite Loretta first. Right here, Loretta. Okay. I'm gonna, do you want to come behind
I
here?
don't think so.
So that you can see the,
Okay.
and then I'll also, oh, that Julian, put you first, okay?
That is
I'm gonna set the timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness, you're organized, Blair. Okay, want me to start?
Yes.
Okay. My 10 minutes starts now. Okay. And Blair's got a timer. Julian, you're on my blacklist. Okay. Communications is everything. So, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me clearly. I still have trouble with my TH and with my H's after 27 years of being with MK. But can everybody hear me clearly? Thank you. Oh, Rebecca? Yes, okay. There's a reason for my question. And the reason is I'm starting to be a little self-conscious about my communication skills. When I went to Acadia, my first year university, I can understand. A lot of people thought I was French from Newfoundland, when in fact, I'm French Mi'kmaq from Gaspé. That's fine. No more comments until maybe 3 months ago. I was driving over Kelly's Mountain, my phone rings. It's Glenn from ISK trying to talk to me. You'll never guess what he told me. Mind you, reception was an issue, but he told me I sounded like a chipmunk. So I've never said that to anybody. You're the first one to hear this one. Okay, fine. This week, contractors came to my house to give me a quote. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left. Doing good there, Loretta. Anyways, the contractor looks at me, and that was just like this week actually asked me if I'm a jacketar. I said, what is a jacketar? I never heard the word a jacketar. Did anybody heard this word before, a jacketar? Apparently, it's a French Mi'kmaq from Newfoundland. So I'm glad you can hear me clearly. Thank you. So now into more serious things. I'm going to present you the financial picture for MK for the year ended March 31st, 2023. And a lot has happened, but I am going to try to give this presentation in the 7 minutes, 24 seconds I have left. So we had a very successful year. A lot has happened, and you can tell by Blair's video. It's so heartwarming to see the awards giving out to the students and see everything that has happened. We had a very, very busy year within our team, and I'll ask quickly for my team to stand up. We have Michelle Yeaser, Financial Controller. We have Jillian Canova, which is our Financial Reporting Manager. Chantal LaProsper, our Finance Officer. And we have Jennifer Paul, who is our financial coordinator. And I would like to thank them all for all of their support and their hard work for the year. We really complement each other as a team, and without them, I'd be nothing. So thank you very much. So we've done, during the year, we've done a lot of work on our accounting system, network, reporting. I think our staff are getting more and more comfortable in using a NetSuite Oracle as an accounting system. There's been a lot of capacity building, continuous training, enhancement of the system. We've done some policy updates. We've reorganized our files electronically as well as the manual file system. And we, right now, 100% of our employees are on EFT, electronic fund transfers. And some of our chiefs are on that as well. Maybe one day, they'll all be. And the hope is to put some vendors on there as well. To move on, I'm going to present the highlights of our audited financial statements for the fiscal year. Giving the time and interest of time, if you have any questions, if you can come and see me after, or you can, if there's time left, you can ask me. I have 5 minutes, 13 seconds left. Okay, so right now, this is our revenue by source. So as in prior year, 83% of our revenues, of course, is the grant from ISC. And we also have the contributions from ISC, and some of the biggest contributions that make up that 12% of the pie is the before and after school program, the K4 program, and the K-12 refinement, which are 2.8 million, 2.3 million, and 1 million for last year. So these are recent programs, and they will continue into the future. And then, of course, we have the provincial contributions, and the largest one there is the sports bilateral, and we have the Treaty Ed and the RPL. To move on, other income, as part of other income, we have the largest one is the ALI, which is almost 1.6 million that we've recognized this last fiscal year with the deferred revenue and the current year contribution and so forth. Moving on to the next slide, I'm going to give you now a better overview of what makes up the MK grant. So the contributions to the community, which is the blue part, is 92%, which is basically most of that is the transfer to the communities of $54 million. We have FNSSP, which is about 3.1 million, Aboriginal language, $1.3 million. And then other is just a mix of everything else. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. The next slide is revenue by program, and this is what I talked about a little bit earlier. We recognize some of that past funding. These are the ISC contributions. Now, effective this fiscal year that we're in now, the before and after school program, the K-12 refinement, and the adult ed are part of the grant. There were contributions all along up till the end of last year. Now they are part of the grant this year. So the largest portion there, the over to the right, is that's our total, 100%. That's our total, yay, of everything. My eyes are so bad, I'm sorry. Okay, next one. Revenue from the province, we talked about that, the sports bilateral being the largest revenue. So we move on. Got 2 minutes, 23 seconds left. Revenue by other, that's ALI is the largest one, 57.21%. You all have a copy of the main parts of the financial statements in your report as well. So, deferred revenue. So within deferred revenue, we have the operating deferred revenue, which sometimes people look at that as surplus, but it's not. It's actually money that's carried over to another year so we can finish the deliverables for which we've received funding under contribution or grant for the prior fiscal year. So, so the largest amount that we deferred was, of course, part of the grant, because the contributions are a lot more restrictive. A lot of the contributions we cannot carry for more than a year or at maximum 2 years. So that's why the deferred contribution is less. We really focus on trying to use up those dollars in the year that it is provided. Next slide. Deferred revenue capital. In there we have that 15 million that we've received for mediation. That is earmarked for shovel-ready projects, i.e. Budladek, Eskasoni, Bear River. These are the major amounts of funding are going to those communities from that $15 million. We have the money that's in the capital pool to mostly to build the Eskasoni school, which is our next project. And we have interest income. Interest income was very, very high last year with our GICs. Most of them are 3 months, and $852,000 we've earned in interest income last year. Next slide. A lot of money. This is our admin budget. Overall, you're looking at the comparison of our actuals in orange and budget in blue. Overall, we pretty well we spent less last year than the year before, and the reason for that was staffing issues. We had a lot of challenges in staffing various positions. Some of them didn't get staffed until mid-year, some in the end of the year, and some are just being staffed now. So that's a big reason for that. In terms of meetings, actually the honorarium and travel went up a little bit because we were all back in meetings after the period of 2.5 year COVID prior to that. So we're going to move on to the next slide. The next slide is the revenues for each one of your communities, and it shows the portion of the revenues that are going out for provincial school, which is highlighted in orange. In orange, 0, okay? And that, the orange part is going lower and lower and lower. Several years ago, we had over 500 students in the provincial school system. Now, as the most recent nominal roll, there's 300 and somewhat students. And I've heard today that there's actually more grades going into the band-operated system from provincial, which is, it's great, it's awesome. Next slide. The next slide is depicts our balance sheet, which overall, we're in our balance sheet. The ratios are excellent with regards to our balance sheet. Current assets, basically is $41 million. In terms of our equity, our equity is 800 and somewhat thousand, of which 700 and somewhat thousand is a contingency fund. On the Yes, and then the largest piece on the equity side as well, I should mention that, is the $29 million, and that is the capital funding that I've just spoken about that we've received as grants and or contribution from ISC, i.e. the 15 million I spoke about is part of that 29 million. That 29 million includes the principals and accrued interest on that. So we are looking forward to a very successful financial year again for this year, of which we're already halfway through. So thank you very much. And it was nice to see you all. And hopefully next year we'll have more time.
Tribune, Loretta. No. Up next, we're going to invite, what was the order? Language, Michelle Marshall. Following Loretta, she was extra funny today. There's a clicker, but you can just tell them to go side to side. You need the mic for the Zoom, but you can put it like right here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay. Oh, I got 10 minutes though. Okay. I can't do two things at once, so I'm gonna need to be jiggy. Okay. Is it gonna stay? It's not gonna stay there. Okay, no worry. I got 10 minutes.
I'll do it.
Okay. Okay. As you hear, this is early education. This is Miranda Bernard's. It's in your. Is it in the package? It's not in the.
No, it's on the screen.
Okay, it's on the screen. So here are the things that she's done, and it's been very well received. It's done in the communities. She does a lot of early childhood education with the training, the trauma, the autism sessions. She works closely with Janine's department as well for early literacy. So I'm not going to go through all of them because you probably don't want me to, but you can show the next slide. And here are some pictures she has working with the daycares. And the kits that she's done for the daycares are really beautiful, like early education kits. They're really nice and really well received. So we can go to the next slide, or I can do that. And here's some more pictures of elders teaching in the daycare, which is great. I think it's completed. Get it, Daisy? Yeah, it's done. But it was well received. It was a rough go in the beginning, but then once it went going, it was really good. The next slide. I got 10 minutes. I'm trying to talk fast. So here we have our senior Mi'kmaq language consultant and our junior language consulting. And our team works really well together because we kind of all know what everybody's doing. And we all kind of get an input of what everybody's doing, and we all kind of bounce our ideas off each other or look for ideas from each other. So we've done a lot of digitizing our Ottawakan. Networking happens every quarterly. Our mentor apprentice program is starting. Giselle's starting a junior mentor apprentice program. So we have a lot of programs and a lot of PD for our teachers. So next one. And we use technology. And here's our consultants. We had a PD weekend for non-speakers in Debert, which Alwyn was ahead of that, which was received very well. Michael R. did the Jigamagan workshop. And the cohort was completed for our new 2022-2023, but we have a new round of mentor apprentice program. For some of you who don't know what the mentor apprentice program is that 400 hours of teaching, and then they take that and hopefully take it to their communities. Okay, next one. And then here we have Red Road, which is Michael R., who travels a lot, and he does a lot of workshops with the youth in the communities, and he's spreading his knowledge, which is very resourceful and really good with traditional teachings. So here we are some examples of eel skinning, cooking. He worked with the girls' leadership camp with sports. He does a lot of traditional ceremonies. He does a lot of community projects. So he's doing great. We could clone him. We would. Next. And there's some pictures of our slides that are happening with the students and the youth. So, and our treaty education, which is Jacqueline Prosper. She's not here today. There was a death in her family, so she's unable to make it. But she's done a lot and she works a lot with the province and the communities. So she's done a lot of resources sending out. She's done the treaty education resource book, so those have went out already to the communities. If you need more, just let us know, and we'll try to get that for you. So, next. and in our Mi'kmaq language technician, and this is Babalo. We can't survive without our Babalo. So Mi'kmaq language classes she has every year. She does Annapolis Valley. She completed the Waltez book for our first Waltez tournament that happened at NAG, but that'll be in next year's report. So that was really well received. She does a lot of stuff on Facebook. She does stuff for students that they can do, our cards, the verbs, animate cards. She does a lot of PD refreshers. She does a lot of translations for communities. I mean, Babalo and the team do really well, because at the drop of a moment, somebody will say, can I have this translation, please? I need it today. And Babalo and the team have been really well to do that. Not that we could keep up with it, or I'm not trying to advertise that we're doing it, but it's really done well. Okay, next. Okay, and here's our Mi'kmaq language coordinator, which is our lovely Giselle, who does a lot of, with the advisory, our language committee. She started the we're starting an adult immersion, working very closely with Janine's department, that would be Anne. We do a lot of translation services. She had the creation of the Elder's Handbook, the baby book, and our Junior Mentor Apprentice book, which is beautifully laid out for the students to teach, which is a nice guide for them to use. Okay, next. And our sports, which we know Tex is not available with us, but he's done a lot with his team and our team, and we miss him dearly, because he plays not only sports, but he was, he contributed to our team a lot. So he's done a lot of MK PD for phys ed teachers, multi-sport programming, our MK Sports Summit, which is in a few weeks, our Sport Hall of Fame, our MPAL retreat, and our sports events revived. And here's some pictures, and there's the team with the MPALs. So we do a lot of sport, physical activity and recreation, Aboriginal coaching module, the NAG coaching summit, the collaboration with Coach Nova Scotia with all provincial organizations. So the team really misses him, and he's done well good. Okay, next. I'm worried about the time. MK sport moving forward. We just completed the NAG, which was really awesome. The mission staff and coaches and the training continues. There was 333 participants for the team. It was the largest contingent ever for Nova Scotia. The MK school sports event schedule continues, sport camps continue, and Rekindling Our Spirit project continues as well. Next. And here's our Rekindling Our Spirit, some of our highlights. That's Narissa's department, where she works a lot with the young women on self-defense workshops, and here's some pictures. Okay, next. And here's some stuff, the highlight development plan brochure that was for all NAG athletes that were received in their packages. So the students, the athletes had where to go, what to do, and just to be safe within our communities, within the city. Okay, next. That's it. That's all she wrote. My team is awesome. I'd like to thank them as well. I don't want to get them to stand because half of them are not here, but that's okay. It is what it is. And Walario.
Well, Michelle. We're going to invite Janine, Director of Academic Services, to present her department highlights.
Okay. Julian, does this clicker work? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the Director of Academic Services. I'm just going to briefly introduce my team. Most of them are here and some aren't due to previous commitments. Try the clicker? Okay. Yeah. Where do I point it? Yeah, okay. All right. So this is every year we try to do a bit of a retreat with our team, and so this was us down at the South Shore. Believe it or not, this was December 2nd last year. Gotta love global warming, eh? We really didn't need jackets. It wasn't too cold out, and we were very fortunate to have some of our knowledge keepers join our team and just have some experiential learning and team building. So if folks want to stand up, they can. If they want to wave or take a bow, whatever you guys want to do. This team is amazing, and I am so very proud of them. We have Dave Peters in our strategic planner information manager, Gloria McCaskill-Hart, our community liaison, Sheldon Gugu, our assessment coordinator, Rebecca Sirocco is our wellness coordinator, and Silaboy is our post-secondary lead. Melissa Reed was with us as one of our navigators. She is now in adult education. Daisy, we would not survive without Daisy. Daisy is shared between academic services and Mi'kmaq language as our coordinator, and she keeps us on our toes all the time. Kyla is our elementary math consultant. Bob Crane is our secondary math consultant. Doreen is our student services consultant, and Ambra is our autism teacher specialist, and Sheila Gould was our early literacy consultant. And Brenda McIsaac is our secondary literacy consultant. And Jen Soller supported all of our communities in STEM. So, and I'm so sorry, I skipped over one of my most favorite people. I read too quickly. See, I'm not good reading fast and speaking fast, believe it or not. And I do have roots in Wamatcook. Claire Muse also keeps me on my toes and plans a million things all the time as our post-secondary coordinator. Ms. Gay, Claire. I'm gonna just do a brief highlight of all of our programs. COVID certainly impacted the way we did PD, but it also offered an opportunity to bring in some world-renowned presenters virtually in their area of expertise. We explored things like Squiggle Park and supporting our early learners building literacy skills, introducing new phonemic awareness programs such as Heggerty. As always, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library is ongoing. And we dabbled a bit in book development with Kina'matnewey and exploring developing of our own resources and our own stories for communities. In terms of secondary literacy, Brenda is quite dynamic in the types of ongoing professional development that she offers your staff. I really would love to congratulate your teachers and your community educators for giving up weekends, evenings, to enhance their professional learning. I can't thank my team enough, but it doesn't happen without your educators. So we really appreciate your feedback and being able to offer versatile professional developments such as Google Meets, sending out emails with teaching strategies bi-weekly, revising curriculum guides, and working with grade 7 and 8 teachers how to implement that curriculum in their classroom, as well as site-based professional development and offering one-on-one virtual mentoring. I can't say enough about my literacy leads. They look and read beyond belief and really listen to the feedback of our teachers to develop and deliver and purchase high quality materials to be used and utilized in the classroom. Looking at ways to integrate storytelling and reading and writing in every aspect of all content across the curriculum. One of the wonderful things that's happened over the last number of years is the increased amount of Indigenous content that is now in your classrooms. It's an ongoing effort that our students see themselves reflected in what they read and write and share. Our dynamic math duo, Kyla and Bob. Kyla has been extremely innovative this year. Yeah. I often hear from communities and say, I really wish that we could have Kyla in our schools full time. And the answer is we can't clone our consultants enough. They're very dynamic in what they do. They deliver an enormous amount of PD. Kyla mentors one-on-one. She was also able to bring in world-renowned Dr. Marion Small and Dr. David Costello, helping to utilize best practices in early mathematics, as well as looking holistically and expanding the Aliet series and working with kindergarten and daycare and Head Start on principles of counting in the early years. And more recently, later in the winter, it was Graham Fletcher modules online. And again, all of this PD and all of this time that your educators give is phenomenal. In secondary literacy, Bob is providing some professional learning communities on Knowledge Hook, Homework Hub, math fluency, and as well this year supported some of our GED teachers as we expanded into adult education and offering mobile GED testing with Anne's program, Anne and Claire, and technology integration was a huge part of supporting our adult learners. Bob has been working with the Department of Ed to expand the type of math assessments that we can offer in a nonverbal way, looking at those structured levels of support in Tier 1 and Tier 2, and how to differentiate supporting math across a variety of grades. And this is Bob's plug about Homework Hub. So for those that aren't aware or would like more information, please feel free to follow up with Bob on Homework Hub. It is a free online tutoring that the province offers in partnership with MK. Many of our communities are utilizing this, but it is grade specific and there is a ton of information and online support for Homework Hub. And this is sort of a bit what the dashboard looks like and what the icons look like on the actual website. This year in wellness, we focused a lot on understanding trauma and built a PLN around, for many of the Unamagi teachers, on understanding neurodiversity and trauma, how to self-regulate, what interoception or body awareness looks like, and how that plays out with our students and our staff. And we had the opportunity to work with one of the leading experts in the world on trauma, and that is Dr. Margaret Blonstein, and I always say her name wrong. So we had a number of teachers from around the province, from your communities, that participated in this online series. Julian? Thanks. So Dr. Margaret Blonstein is from the actual Center of Trauma Training, and a lot of the research around trauma and support comes directly from her research. This is also the cohort of teachers that completed level 1 and 2 mindfulness of this program. And Loretta talks about some of the things that she struggled with. This was day 11 post Fiona for me with no power. So I never go anywhere in pajamas. That's what was clean. That's what I went with and celebrated their milestone. Fancy pajamas, they worked. Yeah. There's been a tremendous amount of work in student services and autism, and I'm going to briefly highlight the dynamic duo of Ambra and Doreen in terms of educational assistant training, looking at how to support some PD with our bus drivers to ensure that there are sensory kits and awareness on the buses in our family of schools, teach training, the list goes on and on. It is quite extensive. Again, this was part of our November 1st with Dr. Kelly Humphreys, a psychologist that focused around learning strategies for the neurodivergent brain and understanding how attention to detail supports all our learners. So these are all of our EAs that got together and had their own fun day and their own draw and prizes and all that sort of thing. But they got to have a great day and a great lunch. So these are some of the snapshots of, we graduated our fourth cohort of yoga teacher trainers. We have approximately 180 teachers in our family of schools and communities that have 200 hours of yoga teacher training to implement in their classroom. We did a few community sessions about learning how to utilize sign language, as well as delivered sensory kits and supporting calming room resources. Now, I'm out of time, but I have to somehow condense everything that Anne, Claire, and Melissa do in less than a minute. We'll see how I do. Anne works probably from about, I don't know, 5 in the morning till I don't think she sleeps. Because I'll wake up in the morning and she'll be like, oh, I have a question. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking, when did she send that? I better not look. But Anne does a tremendous job in all of the things that they do. Anne and Claire and Melissa had a very busy year this year, as well as Becca with finishing up phase 1 of RPL. They organized a lot of different activities where we take on experiential learning. So where we learn as Ulnu, hands-on, reconnecting with our culture, getting to know the complex needs of students in post-secondary as they navigate their career paths, preparing a path forward, learning how to make their own ribbon skirts and ribbon shorts. Anne has an idea and she says, I need you to go to Fabricville and order this for me. And I'm like, times how many? And she says, oh, just like 100. By when? Yesterday. Sure, okay. But most of our graduates, when they walked across the stage, if they chose to, they were wearing a ribbon skirt of their own creation. They were wearing a ribbon shirt of their own creation, proudly showcasing their culture. So thanks to Melissa, I'm sure she had lots of moments with a seam ripper and a few colorful words. I can relate. So these would have been some of the workshops that folks did, learning how to make medicine pouches, again, finding your path and creating story through art. This was our GED summit in Oak Island, where many members of Michelle's team and other departments were there to help our youth make jigamahans, learning how to make medicine pouches, but most importantly, successfully, many of them completing their GED, and suddenly even more doors opening for them. In assessment, we looked at creating some math pilot assessments in Pictou and Bakenkek as a startup. We completed the grade 7 assessment to be launched and piloted this fall. And we introduced some C-pens and how technology can be provided for students writing provincial assessments and training with their resource teachers, and provided professional development to the grade 7 teachers of what our own assessment could look like and how they can utilize that resource kit in the classroom. And Jen was extremely busy in partnership with CleanWave and UINR, and I know I'm going to forget a few other things. But Jen delivered a lot of sessions with students, with their teachers, both in Halifax as well as in Cape Breton, and just looking at all of the variety of programs and workshops that were delivered. Ice fishing in the middle of winter, super fun trying to being in a remote location and trying to feed teenagers. You can never feed them enough. They are bottomless pits, and we pivot and we feed kids and we offer experiential learning, and they had a blast. And so here's some highlights from some of the STEM workshops and learning hands-on with our knowledge keepers, our teachers and our students. Learning with these knowledge keepers hands-on is probably the best model, and it was an amazing experience last summer up in the Highlands. I didn't even mind the mosquito bites. There were many. Again, a bit back to some activities where Jen and Anne and her department, or Anne and her program, instituting the Marine Nautical Camp, our students learning experientially again. Always fun to see kids suit up in a huge survival suit in a pool. This is the 8th year for our trade. This was the 8th year for our trades fair. It is probably by far one of many things that gets put on that offers so much to our students in all of their potential pathways, career-wise and otherwise. And last, we have our MKSIS, our Student Information System. So every time your teachers take attendance, put in lesson plans, they are feeding data to your system, and they are telling a narrative. And a lot of those suggestions that come from your teachers and your administrators and directors gets changed and modified and enhanced over time. So this is just a brief snapshot at some of the customizations that take place in our SIS system, improving and enhancing IEP report cards, adding and removing students in a different way from non-band sites, ability to add hyperlinks to teacher planner, and again, the list goes on and on. I think one of the things that is so influential about the list of customizations is every single one of this, and this is probably about half of all the customizations that Dave and Gloria and Data Van did with them. They all came from community suggestions. They all came from grassroots teachers that said, this needs to work better. I need to be able to do this with my students. I need to be able to document this and support them here and add this on. Is it perfect? No, it's evolving, and that's the most important thing. It evolves much faster than TINA in the provincial system, and it is much more responsive and user-friendly than the provincial system. And I'm so very proud of the hard work and dedication to make it happen. Claudio.
Well, Janine, our last presentation is Alan for Atlantic First Nation Tech Services.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess this will. Yeah. Anyway, next slide.
We'll get a different one for next year, I promise.
Perfect. Yeah, so as Blair mentioned, my name is Alan McKenzie. I am director of basically MK's IT department, but we rebranded in the last year as Atlantic First Nation Tech Services. This is just a list of my my team over the past year. They're a great, very diverse team, and are taking on more and more every year. And I certainly couldn't do it without them. Next slide. Yes, this just gives you an idea. Prior to, I guess it would have been almost a year ago, we rebranded from Atlantic Canada's First Nation Help Desk to Atlantic First Nation Tech Services. It's a new name. We also have a new website. I encourage you to check that out, afnts.ca. So the reason for the rebrand was, over the years, since being launched in 1999, we just felt it was, we've certainly broadened as a staff of 3 back then to a staff of 10, including myself. We've really broadened what we provide to communities, and we felt like it was time to guess for a fresh new name and fresh new logo. So yeah, next slide. So just an overview of tech services. So as I mentioned, we're MK's IT department. We serve both education and health. So education across 33 education and health centers across 33 communities in Atlantic Canada. In total, 25 schools and 8 Aboriginal Head Starts, 14 in Nova Scotia, 11 in the other three Atlantic provinces, as well as 33 health centers and 8 treatment centers in our First Nation communities. As I mentioned, a staff of 10, 7 of which are located in in Membertou, and then 2 work on mainland Nova Scotia and 1 in New Brunswick. Main services provided to schools are fiber network and network security, technology integration, mobile device management for schools, as well as our tech standards project. And just kind of a snapshot of our network. So there's 80. It varies, but between 80 and 85 sites receive connectivity through our fiber network. Between 40 and 45% of those are schools. 40 and 45% are health, and the remainder are a mixture of band offices and other band services in community. The right part of that slide just gives you an idea of how our network is segregated into health, band, and education. So no traffic from education would touch health, and vice versa. So it's that added layer of security. Next. A couple of points to make about our fiber network. So the core network connections upgraded in the last year to 10 gigabits per second. Implemented network security vulnerability assessment, and corrected all those issues they had, and that's something we're going to do annually to make sure that all traffic across the network is secure. We also deployed caching servers across all schools, and what a caching server basically does is it really helps to make the network and utilize the bandwidth we have. Anytime, one of the things that we'll do is if there's a new update for a Mac or for iPad, it'll pull that update down once, and then every other device that has to be updated, it doesn't go back to the cloud for that update. It already has it locally, so it just allows for the network to run that much more efficiently. Also working, our network team is working hard to improve school Wi-Fi signals by continually mapping and tuning and improving our security. Next, please. Okay, in terms of tech integration, this is Kim McKinnon's area. Over the past year, she continues to work on support and training for Seesaw, creation of a digital citizenship and safety program that she's in the process of launching now, ongoing iPad support and training, working with Apple continuously on offering various PD initiatives, and purchasing apps and subscriptions based on requests from communities. So that's kind of a snapshot of what Kim's been up to. And James is our tech integration consultant for secondary, so grades 5 to 8. Some of his areas of focus over the past year have been gamified learning, promotion of technology to teach Mi'kmaq language, supporting other assistive technology initiatives, Google Read and Write, Proloco Go, ChoiceWorks, just to name a few, and ongoing Google Workspace training and Chromebook support for our schools. That most of our schools in grades 5 to 12 utilize Chromebooks, so that's kind of his area. And on the iPad Apple side is Kim's area of specialty. Next. We also work with schools to provide mobile device management for iPads and Chromebooks. So we have in the ballpark of between 5,000 and 6,000 devices that we manage with the communities. In some of our communities, we have people on site that do a lot of the management themselves, and that's great. But we offer the full services, so we can do that remotely. But that's something that continues to grow because we're always increasing, in partnership with the communities, always increasing the amount of devices that we have for students and staff. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, so in terms of, we recently, I guess it's towards the end of last fiscal year, we launched a pilot project called the Device Refresh Strategy. That's a partnership with communities to refresh student, initially it'll be student devices. We hope to add staff devices later, but work with the communities to cost share so that students, all student devices will be refreshed every 5 years. So we have funds in place for the first 5 years to refresh the oldest 20% of student devices. and the uptake on that has been quite good. That's rolling out as we speak. And as I mentioned, we hope to include staff devices in future years. But initially, the most important thing on our minds was to make sure that we have up-to-date technology for students to use on a daily basis. And the technology standards, that's Julian's project. So that's basically a framework and collection of resources that support and guide schools with technology implementation. It's not sometimes when people think standards is something it's not something MK is or can enforce, for that matter, on communities. It's a guide that they can choose to follow if they wish. And that's one of those ongoing projects that Julian continues to work on. 8 communities across the Atlantic region are using the standards. And over the past year, 5 new resources were added, and that's something that will continue to evolve and improve as time passes. 2 minutes. Okay, so video conference and telehealth. This is mainly Sarah Doucette's area. So over the past in the past fiscal year, we launched Zoom for Healthcare across health and treatment centers. So this is compatible with all of our video conferencing hardware that existed, which was important. It's also something that all the health authorities in the Atlantic are utilizing. In terms of security, it has data residency in Canada, so we were certainly concerned about that. It's got enhanced security measures, and it's basically just more user-friendly to use than our previous system. So it's the uptake on that has been great, and we continue to roll that out and provide training. The Atlantic First Nation Health Hub, which is Blossom's area, that's an online platform that was launched this past fiscal year. It's a resource hub and collaboration tool for health center staff at health centers across the Atlantic region. It's a collaboration with a company called Wow Digital out of Toronto, and First Nation and Inuit Health Branch. It was launched this past February, but that's much like tech standards that will continue to evolve, and uptake on that has been quite good. And I've got, I guess, 37.5 seconds for questions if anybody has any questions or comments. This is just I guess a map of our region, broken down by the 3 nations we serve, the Mi'kmaq, Wolastoqey, and Innu. So we're proud to be able to serve on a small team of 10 to be able to serve 33 communities across the Atlantic, including the 12 MK communities. And I guess that's it for me. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Alan. Pass it on to the chair.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Right now, I need a motion to accept the annual report as presented. So can I have a mover or seconder, please? Chief Wilbur, seconder. Seconder, what the chief said. Any proxies?
I'll second that.
Any?
Who was that online?
Anne-Marie?
Anne-Marie? Okay.
Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, motion carried. Any questions or discussion? The floor is open for questions and discussion. If not, can I have a motion to adjourn? Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Mover, seconder,
I'll
please.
make a motion.
Okay. Chief Norman, seconded by Chief Wilbur. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Any abstentions? Any opposition? Motion carried. Now we're going to have draws, right? Now we're going to have draws. So
You're going to put them on the
Aye.
screen?
we're going to chance to
Okay.
closing prayer after a draw, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just leave them in there. They just can't win twice until the main prize.
Okay.
Your name should be in there. As always, the MK staff are not included in this. I'm sorry. It's a chronic rule. It's an inherited rule. But we do have some stuff here. So we'll put all of this on the table. You choose what you want except the iPhone. There's gift cards. There's a Hydrate Spark water bottle, JBL speakers, Pendleton blanket. We're going to leave your name in, but if your name is drawn twice, you're not going to win 2 of these little prizes. We just have to leave it there so that, you'll be eligible for this. So, spin the wheel. The spin is a little long, okay? Can you, Chief Debbie. She's not. You have to. What? Spin it. No, don't say remove. Just close. Oh, we're adding. She's there. Why are you adding her? She's already there. Yeah? Kimberly Martin, right? Under Darren Gugu.
My name in there?
She's right there. Yeah. Add the Zoomers. No. Not yet. Just Norman. Okay. Spin it. We have good eyes. We didn't forget anybody. Okay, look. Anne-Marie or Sherry? Oh, Sherry. Come on, Sherry. Just press close.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything,
Okay, spin it again. Just gotta keep spinning. Justin. Oh, he ran away. Spin it. Yeah, you can remove him if you want. Terry.
Hello?
You won something. What do you want? Do you want a gift card, blanket, or speaker?
Gift card.
Gift card. Okay, we'll bring it home to you. Okay, spin again. His favorite restaurant is Burger King. JK. Lucy. Lulu, let's go. Okay, spin. Don't even let it calm down. Just keep spinning it. Yeah. Jason. Come on up, Jason. Okay, let me see. Liz. Okay. Norman Bernard. Grab a gift card for Norman. He is really like in the room.
There, I'm there.
Yeah, you want a gift card, Norman?
Okay, thank you.
Listen, this lucky guy. Remove. Click remove. Okay. Just, you save it. Okay. G. Gepton. Dear. Tim Hortons. District Chief Sherry already won, so I'm just going to go again. Donna. So they're winning. Oh, Donna. How many more? Okay. Chief Wilbur. Let me see. Yeah, you're there. You're right here. Drama. Rain. And draw. Oh, yes, she's right there. Okay, I think we have, this might be, oh no, we have like 3 more.
don't want to spin this when we're out of prizes. That's
Chief Carol, grab one for Chief. Is she still online? Chief Carol?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your sister's gonna grab the McDonald's gift card for you. Okay,
All right. Thank you.
2 more. I want Burger King. So does Tanya. Yeah! Fun Last gift card. Oh, we already said Chief Carol. Okay, this is the last gift card. Velvet. Okay. Okay, shuffle it. Oh, we have 2 luggage. You're right. So we're going to go on to the luggage. So click shuffle under entries. Okay. So the first 2, click it.
Oh, look, you need to show people how they look. Oh, Velvet already won.
No, Velvet.
Oh, she wins again?
Yeah, this is not gift card. You have first pick.
Purple or green?
Awesome. Close. Next luggage is the beautiful, looks like a woman on there, hey? Adriana, come on down. Okay. Now click shuffle like 55 times, Julian. Okay. You win this paper. It says iPhone 15, pink, IOU, email faye@gino.ca. This is the voucher for it. I made it. Okay. Should we do like wheel of elimination? Is she online? Chief Michelle, you won the iPhone. She's in the room.
I think we heard her cheering. That was her.
Did you hear me? Chief Michelle, do you hear me? This is controversial.
She's there, but she's muted.
Chief Michelle,
Going once.
you gotta claim your prize. Going once,
Yeah, I'm here.
going twice.
She's here.
Yeah, well,
She's-
I'm online, yeah.
She's on mute. She's on mute.
Chief Michelle,
No, but her mute changed.
Yeah, I'm online.
No, she's talking.
she's talking? How do I hear her?
I hear her. I hear her.
Somebody hears me.
Oh, I hear you.
Yay!
Good for you. You won the iPhone. I'll
want an
send you a
iPhone.
picture.
That's cool.
What's that?
That's cool.
That's cool.
Well, Alan.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, guys. That's the end of our meeting, and then we'll have a closing remarks from our Grand Chief and an opening prayer. Closing prayer. And I just want to mention Tex as well. He's send your well wishes to Tex if you can. He's still in the hospital recovering. I think he's been there almost 45 days now in the hospital for recovery. So, okay, 47 days. Holy man, that's long. Anyway, Grand Chief, closing remarks.
I don't want that people stand here. SK, we should have made that clear. I just want to reflect on your presentations. And like I was saying, you ask an elder anything, they'll tell you a story. So the Wedderbeckson story is for thousands and thousands of years, we were learning on oral history and our teachings from our elders. And it's always was very vital to the child. Everything we learned, it was in our language regarding all our sciences, our laws, and our parenting, etc. Everything was in our language. And that's very vital. I know to use two eyes in, but I just don't want the teachers forget that that's how we learned in the past. It's through our history, our stories. So I'm going to read a scripture, part of my closing remarks regarding language, importance of our stories. As I was brought up in that environment, all my teachings was from my elders. Our elders have left us with many gifts, as they left us with stories using oral history. The stories teach about the past, all about the present and our future. Throughout our journey, in the role I advocate is our language for our Mi'kmaq stories, for our culture, our history, our beliefs, our values. Our elders are very precious in passing down our past, present, especially to our youth, as they are our future. Our language is known and was a gift to us by our ancestors. To protect our nation, it was our duty to teach our children our culture, our language, as that will ensure the survival of for the next 7 generations. The stories that were shared from our elders and the teachings always meant something and given knowledge for us to learn from. So this is a quote from the Grand Chief, but I just wanted to make sure that people know that our language, our stories, our Wedderbeckson is very vital for our survival. So I now ask for you to stand. I'll do the closing prayer. Creator, we are grateful for this day you have given us. Thank you for allowing us to gather in a safe manner. We thank you for giving our people our traditional teachings of courage, wisdom, respect, honesty, humility, truth, bravery, so that we are brave in this time still among us, the COVID pandemic. We still have to keep vigilant with the COVID still is very coming. Creator, we ask to protect our people, our communities, our elders, our families, our children, our leaders from harm today and days to come. I also wanted to pray for those attending today, our elders, district chiefs, guests, and staff. I ask the Creator to keep them healthy and safe as they journey back home to their communities and their families. Now I thank the Creator for our ancestors' teachings, our traditional teachings, and our treaties, and our prayers in our language. Creator, protect Imsit, Goma, Gisku, in days to come. Olalio.
Alalia. Pediak like Antug. There's